Commander morning ma commander. Commander Lena is from Umkhonto weSizwe to Umkhonto weSizwe. Heroic revolutionaries, combatants of Umkhonto weSizwe. Our revolution is under siege. The ANC is being destroyed, and it is being destroyed from within. The traditions of the ANC are being set aside, and a new culture is beginning to take shape in the organization. The people of South Africa who love the ANC, civilian members, are watching what their army is saying in these circumstances. Comrade Zuma, a leader and member of Umkhonto weSizwe, was removed from office in a manner that can be simply described as staggering and un-ANC by a man, Cyril Ramaphosa, who has ascended into the leadership of our organization by dubious means. All true soldiers of Umkhonto weSizwe who know their stuff, who have not been contaminated and corrupted by tenders and crumbs falling off white monopoly capital tables, cannot honestly say Cyril qualifies to be the president of the ANC. Cyril must not be allowed to continue to lead the ANC for the simple reason that Cyril does not qualify to lead us. Cyril has not passed through the eye of the needle, which is the requirement for all ANC leaders. Some people have called us and are saying, comrades, why don't you give him a chance? But the point is, can you give a chance to an unqualified pilot to pilot a plane that you will be traveling in? Can you allow an unqualified surgeon to cut you up in a theater? Comrades, let us be real. We did not sacrifice our lives and youths so that the Ruperts can parachute a stranger into our midst and then gain a free walk in the park in our country after oppressing our people for so long. The replacement of apartheid guns by black-skinned Ruperts is not what we're fighting for. In the parliament of so-called South Africa today, about it like they walk in and receive standing ovations, ululating, clapping of hands, while those who struggled for the country are branded criminals and threatened with recalls, impeachments, votes of no confidence by so-called ANC leaders. The heart of South Africa is bleeding. The heart of South Africa is bleeding because some of these so-called leaders, remote controlled by the Ruperts, are in charge. The loyalty of our people and ourselves as MK to the ANC is being taken advantage of. The enemy within, knowing that we are disciplined, has parachuted its agents into our ranks. These agent provocateurs are now ripping the ANC apart. They know we will say we respect the decisions of the leadership, but we are not given all that training, comrades, to follow blindly, even when the revolution is being handed over to the Stellenbosch mafia. We are vigilant enough to realize that the enemy is no longer at the gate, the enemy is no longer at the door, but the enemy today is right in our midst, and he is getting bolder by the day. If we allow the series of today to execute the counter-revolution, to remove President Zuma from office, and we keep quiet, tomorrow they will come for us. If we do not defend Msholozi today, who will defend us when the series come for us tomorrow? Tomorrow they will remove radical economic transformation from ANC policies. The enemy within is beginning to tell us that expropriation of land without compensation has to be managed in a particular manner without alienating those who forcefully took it from our people in the first place. The enemy did not take our land in a certain manner. They just forcefully took us. They just forcefully took the land from us. We have to do the same. It's simple. We can't decorate it. Instead, what they are calling for, these people, is that the remaining little land under the ownership of our kings and chiefs and traditional leaders must be taken. But the land owned by white people and the mining magnates must be left untouched. This is counter-revolution. Hardly 3 months after Nasrec, we are beginning to hear voices telling us that the free education may not be attainable. We are told that if free education was not announced at the right time, it was not announced properly. What nonsense is that? Interestingly, this noise is not coming from the opposition or from the enemy. It is coming from our own ranks. That tells us, comrades, that we are infiltrated. It's a shame. Makerela, Bothebule, Nyamazane, nithulile izwe lihamba bafowethu. Kwenze njani maqabane? We are not calling for MK to take up arms. We know how to wage political battles. We are calling for a National General Council of the ANC to sort out the mess that ubutsotso benzeke Nasrec has left us with. It is time, Masocha Umkhonto, to clean the ANC. As it is right now, the ANC yanuka infiltration, amanga, dishonest, betrayal, and all the signs of counter-revolution. We are with JZ Bafwetu in the trenches of struggle. We cannot be expected to desert our own comrade. What is a comrade? We can't leave JZ to be treated the way he has been treated. It's un-ANC. We reject it. In the letter that we wrote to the ANC leadership in January, which they have not responded to up to this date, we asked the leadership of the ANC to tell us what their response is to the book written by Gayton McKenzie. Comrades, we all need to read that book. It is titled Kill Zuma by Any Means Necessary. In that book, we're told there was a number of attempts to kill President Zuma. He was poisoned and he fell ill. President Zuma nearly died. The man who gave him that poison, disguised in a liver, has been revealed. His name is William Kiza. He was one of the previous top 6 of the ANC. Comrade Ace Magashule, who is now the Secretary General and the Premier of the Free State, was poisoned too. The current Deputy President of the ANC, who is the Premier of Mpumalanga, Didi Mabuza, was also similarly poisoned. These leaders would have died. They were only saved because they were taken to a Russian hospital. President Zuma's jet was sabotaged no less than twice. There are no MK soldiers in the SANTF Special Forces unit, the unit that guards the president. That is why it was easy for the enemy to infiltrate that unit, give somebody a mission to assassinate the president. But by God's grace, that young man had a heart and he did not proceed with the plan. The question is, why are there no MK soldiers in the special forces of the SANTF? The ANC leaders know who is behind these dastardly acts of treason and attempted murder. Have they said anything about all that? No, they are quiet. Where are the culprits? Well, some of them are in ANC leadership positions, even right now as we speak. Are we, comrades, as soldiers of Umkhonto weSizwe, are we going to keep quiet? Are we going to look the other way and pretend as if these things never happened? Are we, as MK soldiers, going to let it go just like that? If we do, then, comrades, we are fake and we are not true to ourselves. We have not forgotten the torture of our comrades. We have not forgotten the blood of our fallen martyrs. We owe it to our people and those who were hanged, we owe it to them to stand up, fasten our bootstraps, comrades, and defend the ANC, and defend the revolution. Kalushi Mahlangu, Vuyisile Mina, they did not die in vain. Makerere, Masocha Umkhonto, Delakufa, Tororo, Qabane. The need to call for the National General Council of the ANC is pressing, lest we be too late to save the revolution. Comrades, let us not go down in history as soldiers that failed their own people. Our children must not go into exile and carry the gun again. It is time to stop the nonsense and regain the dignity of the ANC that was bestowed upon us by the best sons and daughters of our country, like President Oliver Tambo, Mama Lilian Ngoyi, Chief of Staff Chris Hani, and my beloved Commander Palli Mlokwane, who made me. Forward to the National General Council.
Forward.
Aluta.
Continue.
Yeah.
In Africa.
Okay, you just have to press the red button.
Yes,
You pressed it.
it.
No, it's fine. We'll edit it.
Okay, I pressed it.